Welcome to Secrets of Successful Startups, where we sit down with founders of successful companies and we find out what's their secret sauce. I'm Laurel Toby. I'm the founder of MediaBistro.com, and I'm the host of your show. I'm here today with Jennifer Hill, who's an expert. She's a startup lawyer. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Great. And we're here with our guest, Ben Kaufman, founder of Quirky.com. Welcome, Ben.
Hi.
Great. Thanks for coming today.
Glad to be here.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Great. We're not going to talk about cereal today, as you did with Bloomberg TV the other night.
Yep.
We're going to talk about breakfast. No, I'm teasing.
Okay. All right.
So first, we're going to show a little video about the company to kind of bring everybody up to speed and let them know what Quirky is all about.
Frightening.
Let's go, video guy.
Quirky.com is 24-year-old Ben Kaufman's third startup. The company's goal, take product ideas that are submitted online from concept through design to production. Inventors and others who help refine their ideas share in the profits. Quirky.com has 65 employees and is growing roughly 20% each month. With expected revenue of $6 to $10 million this year, the 2-year-old company is bringing smart products and a smart business concept to life.
Excellent. So Ben, some pretty cool facts about the company. Are you proud? Are your parents proud yet?
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Okay. Do you want to show us some of your products that you're creating right now?
I'd be happy to.
Okay, great.
I just brought a few. I don't have a ton. We have about 175 products in the portfolio now, and I brought 3. So
only 3?
I don't know. I just had to grab a few on the way out. So this one's awesome. This is a dustpan that actually cleans your broom as you sweep.
Very cool. And why is it bent down in the back?
So you can actually step on it, and you don't have to bend over.
Oh, that's great.
Again, the story behind all Quirky products is that they come from real people that without our platform and our service would never be able to become a successful inventor. Becoming an inventor is really, really hard, and that's what happened to Bill Ward.
Show the back.
Bill Ward and all of our inventors are sort of showcased on the back of all the packaging. Now, Bill's story is he's a restaurant owner in South Carolina, and he was sweeping up his restaurant one night, and he realized that his floor was getting clean, but his broom was getting dirty. So he wanted to create a dustpan that actually cleaned his broom. So this story, this sort of problem-solving sentiment just sort of rings true through all of our items. None more than this guy right here. This is the Pivot Power. This is sort of the crown jewel of the Quirky empire as it currently stands. It was invented by this guy named Jake Zion, and Jake is he was at the time, he was a college student at the Rhode Island School of Design, and he, like the rest of us, was so frustrated when he was trying to plug in those big power bricks into his power strip. You plug one thing in, it blocks the port next to it, all that fun stuff. So he actually wanted to create a fully functional power strip, and so he submitted the idea to Quirky, and several months later this thing's selling several thousand units a week.
Wow.
And Jake's gonna take home up to $150,000 this year.
Oh my god,
that's amazing.
So cool. Do you have anything else to show us?
I got one more thing. This one's like the has the potential to be the next crown jewel of the Quirky empire. This one is fantastic. This is a hanger. It hangs in your closet, your clothes on it. But you know when you get like clothes back from the cleaners, and you have to like unbutton it or like snake a hanger up through the bottom of your garment. This you can actually pop right through, and as you hang it on the bar, it comes right up, clips right up, and then also the other great thing is it's one-handed takeoff. So as you take the garment off the tray, literally it's gonna fall right into your hands, and you can like be on the phone or be like Twitter messaging or like face mashing or something like that, and you could still be getting dressed.
This is genius. Well, next up, we're going to talk about how Ben Kaufman came up with the idea for Quirky.com. Being an entrepreneur is all about solving problems in the marketplace, and Ben has obviously learned how to do that. Let's talk a little bit about a problem you first solved when you were in high school, when you were taking math class.
Yeah, this was a terrible problem. Just it's totally as practical as not liking your power strip. No, I was sitting in the back of math class. I was a horrible student, like the worst you could come by. And I had just gotten the iPod Shuffle, like the long white iPod Shuffle. Was my senior year in high school. And I was trying to figure out a way to listen to my iPod without my teacher realizing that I wasn't listening to to her wonderful words of wisdom. So I actually went home and I prototyped this product out of ribbon and gift wrap. That would actually allow me to conceal my wires up through like a lanyard, keychainy type thing. And I showed my parents, and they actually remortgaged their house and let me fly to China before my high school graduation and build my first consumer product.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. In some way, there's a math teacher going, I truly am the inspiration behind the Quirky Empire.
Mrs. Schneebolk at the Portledge School.
You can thank her.
Yes.
Sure, more Rivet and Quirky might not be here today. So you solved that problem, and then you went on to solve another problem related to the iPhone. Tell us about that one.
My favorite.
Well, I started, the first product was the start of a company. It was a company I started in 2005 called Mophie. It was named after my two golden retrievers, Molly and Sophie, and it was built to be an Apple accessory company, and we developed a ton of Apple accessories, from cases to clips and so on. But one sort of stands out, and it's sort of what Mophie is now known for, which is the last product I designed before I sold the company. That was the Mophie Juice Pack.
Yes,
it was the
I love
first
that thing.
iPhone case with a built-in battery in the back of the case. So, extended battery life built right into the back of a case. So invented that, sold the company in August of 2007, and started doing other stuff.
These were all problems that you uniquely had that you wanted to solve for yourself, right?
Yeah, they were things that I just sort of realized were nuances in my daily Apple enjoying life, and I wanted to sort of build products around that. And through that process, I realized it was really, really hard to make products. Right? You need to have access to capital. You need to know the right people. You need to be multidisciplinary between design and engineering, manufacturing and retail and merchandising. And all these things need to line up just to push one brand new product out in the real world. And I realized, I was lucky that somehow, some way, like all these things lined up for me.
Right.
And what really excited me was the opportunity to make that process accessible to all creative people and all inventors.
Did you have an aha moment? I mean, was there some point where you said, yes, instead of me doing another set of products, I'm going to make it so that everybody can have my same manufacturing dream?
The aha moment, no joke, was on a subway in New York. I looked to my right, and there was this woman, and I'd never met her. I don't know who she was or where she came from. Frankly, I don't even remember what she looked like, because I wasn't looking at her. I was looking at what she was wearing, and she was wearing one of my products. And it was
that's such a great feeling.
It was the best feeling in the world. Oh my God, I made that! Like without sort of the work I put into it, she would have never been able to enjoy the product she's enjoying right now. And I realized that I was lucky that I was actually able to execute on that idea, because most people aren't able to. And it's not because the idea isn't good enough. It's just because the world is set up to kill ideas, not sort of help them, flourish.
So you decided to start Quirky.com as a way to help people get through that process faster, cheaper, better.
Yeah, we say, the whole thing behind Quirky is we make invention accessible, right? We're making it possible for average people with way above average ideas to see the fruits of their sort of intellectual curiosity, should their idea be good enough.
Now, didn't you once say that it costs about $200,000 on average to get somebody through the design?
It does, no matter which way you cut it. That's exactly it. If you want to start a product company and just bring one product to market, right around $200,000 is the amount you need between tooling up, manufacturing the product, and then forming a company, sort of getting it into retail, having enough runway to do some sales and bring in inventory and warehousing and logistics. You could maybe do it for less, but not much less.
How did you learn about all that stuff? I mean, that's a lot to pack in.
By blowing through $200,000 remortgage of my parents' house and realizing that, wow, this was just one product. And then since then I've developed upwards of 200 items. And if you look at the ones that actually make it to market, whatever way you slice it, it's right about that amount of money that has to be put into a product in order for it to be well brought to market, right?
So that's the lesson here, is bring a product to market that you deeply understand, that's a solution to a problem that you have, and chances are other people out there will have the same type of problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at my history, right? So like all of my Mophie products were solutions to the problems I was experiencing, but then also Quirky as a product, right, is a solution to a problem that I was experiencing. It was really hard to invent things. So I think all good things come out of problems in one way, shape, or form, and I'd be happy to stamp a lesson stamp on that.
Next up, we're going to talk about how to stay close to the customer. It's important to stay close to the customer. Let's talk about how Ben Kaufman, the founder of Quirky.com, does that. In fact, I would have to say your entire company is glued to the customer. You're kind of stuck at the hip.
I mean, our customer is our employees, our vendors, everything is together, right? We've built a fully transparent business where, the ideas for all of these products come from people all around the world who are not only creative people and helping us make these products, but they also wind up being our customer at the end of the day.
But let's break it down and go step by step. So a person comes to the website.
They do.
Okay.
Hopefully, if they want to.
It's an inventor.
They will now. They're watching this show.
Yeah.
They've seen some cool products.
A
They're
hopeful
totally
inventor comes to the website, and what's the first thing they do?
They basically tell us what their problem is, what their proposed solution is, maybe some key features, what the competitive landscape looks like, and they go ahead and they submit their idea. Once the idea is submitted, it goes up for what we call evaluation. And in evaluation, that idea is up with all the other ideas that were submitted that week, and it's looked at by customers around the world. And customers go in, they vote, and they rate, and they comment, and they enhance, and they refine each other's ideas until the best ideas that week are bubbled up to the top. And those ideas are then put through an internal vetting process where we make sure that they're manufacturable, that we can actually make some money on them, all the really boring stuff that I wish I didn't have to do. And we then choose the best ideas out of that, which is 2 ideas a week, and bring it all the way through the product design process.
What would you say the places are that you touch the customer, the various places? And I don't mean like that.
Sorry?
No, but seriously, you're listening to the customer over the internet. You're listening to them. You have bulletin boards.
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, we have arguably too many ways that we're listening to them, right? We, on average, our phone calls that come into Quirky, we do still have phones.
Really?
Are 30 minutes long with an average inventor. There's often a really long hold time, which we're trying to address. Obviously, people are submitting ideas through the website, the comments for each idea. Yeah. We then do regular town meeting concepts. Where,
tell us about the town meetings and how those came about and what purpose they serve.
So basically, because there's so much going on at Quirky, we wanted the community to not only understand how the product development process is going, but just how we're doing as a business overall. Right. So we throw on the live stream, much like we're doing right now, and we basically go through a full business update, arguably more comprehensive than my board updates are, and talk to the community about like what's next, what's going good, what's going bad, what they can be helpful with, and that way we all feel like we're on the same page and there are no secrets.
Mm-hmm. Tell us about the influencers. How do they work? I noticed on the back of these you've got the event and then you've got hundreds and hundreds of influencers.
Influencers are where it's at, man. That's just free money we're giving out. No, but behind every product, there's people like Jake, right, who have great ideas. Mm-hmm. But then there's people who help Jake make his product real, right? They helped name the product the pivot power. They helped define the angle of axis that would be turning on each one of these outlet strips and so on. And all of those things are individual contributions that help us make a better product. And all of those contributions are rewarded when we sell the product. So in the instruction manual is a list of 709 names of people who help make this product a reality. And every time 1 unit of this product sells,
they get a percentage.
Everyone gets paid.
I understand that like 30 cents out of every dollar goes to influencers.
On direct sales, and then on indirect sales, 10 cents of every dollar goes out.
So the lesson here again is stay close to the customer. But why? Let's draw it out a little bit. Why does it matter? Does it help the company?
Trying to kill some time?
No.
I'm kidding. No, it at the end of the day, it does a bunch of things. Number one is it helps you make smarter decisions.
Very good.
Right? Because
I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah. It helps you make smarter decisions because that's where, at the end of the day, that's where these products are going. Yes. And that's where every decision you make as a business is going to end up at the customer, hopefully at some point. So it helps you make smarter decisions. It helps your customer, even if you don't fully listen to everything they say, if you listen to, half of what they say, it helps them feel like they are part of the process. And if they feel like part of their process, they respect you. Yeah. And in the times where you have to make tough decisions, they know that they're making tough decisions because they have my best interests in mind.
So
right?
It enhances the brand's authority. It enhances Quirky in the marketplace. It makes people feel connected to Quirky
and
love it.
And they make people Quirky. They feel like Quirky is real.
Yeah,
hopefully, right?
And that that's a place that they can go and feel connected to. I mean, really, let's talk about this. It's very hard to feel connected to something on the internet. I mean, it's so technical.
And the third thing that staying close to your customer does is it gives you a really good story. And I don't say that in the fluffy terms, but But, if you walk into a retailer or any sort of place where you're selling a product, digital or physical, and someone says, well, how'd this thing come to be? And you're like, well, I was in the boardroom with my exec team, and we figured out this would be a cool idea. Customers and media and everyone is much more interested in the fact that, wow, I interface with the people that actually matter, and came up with something really, really cool.
And those people often order the product, right?
So you would think, hopefully.
No, but you have pre-orders as one of the
we do, yeah.
rationale for
So one of the last
something.
barriers a product needs to go through before we actually go ahead and make it is us seeing that there's actually market traction, and we actually take pre-orders. People put their credit cards down and say, if you make this, I will buy it. And we go from there.
That's such a smart way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Prove your market for.
Next up, we're going to talk about how to create a hybrid company so it's not just on the internet. And I think Ben has done that very well. Ben, let's face it, you're 24 years old. In Silicon Valley or Silicon Alley, your peers would be starting app companies and tiny little internet companies.
So boring.
And you created a business plan that is
Whoa, never created a business plan.
Wait, well, ostensibly speaking.
Okay.
You created a plan around a hybrid, which is, it includes a design shop, an internet site, a manufacturing company, everything all wrapped into one. Let's talk about why you did that.
I love complexity. I think it intrigues me. But more so than that, I think that what the world needs now isn't more apps and websites. We need to reinvent the way stuff is made, right? No matter what, no matter how many computers and chips we have implanted in our brains, we are still going to touch and feel things on a daily basis.
Oh, I love to touch and feel things. Like this.
Start touching the power. I mean, that's kind of
I can take this home, right?
And at the end of the day, right, like that's always going to exist. Things are always going to exist, and things are created incredibly inefficiently. So we, when we started Quirky, we wanted to sort of holistically look at all the things that you need to have in place in order to create things.
But why manufacturing? I mean, you're a young guy. Where'd you get the idea to manufacture something?
Old school.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know. I actually grew up around manufacturing. My mom, ran a manufacturing plant right near where I grew up. So I was there often, and I sort of understood, the big giant blocks of steel go in and a plastic thing comes out, right?
From steel to plastic. Who would have thought?
And, I understand at a very young age, or I understood at a very young age, how stuff was made, and realized that all the work they put in ahead of time, the literally 18 to 24 months of planning and spending money that they did before it got to this part, just seemed incredibly inefficient. So, in going through my own product development experiences and so on, I realized that, well, if you can sort of combine all these things, and again, we are that internet business, but we do have, brick and mortar retail, we have, manufacturing, we have logistics, we have operations, we have sourcing, we have finance, we have legal, we have a full legal team of people that do intellectual property stuff to make sure, we're protecting each one of these ideas and so on.
But let's talk about a little bit about the advantage to having a hybrid company.
Right.
Rather than just one revenue stream, you can have multiple revenue streams. Rather than having one weakness, you can have multiple weaknesses.
Yeah, that's an advantage.
No, it's a little more costly, but I mean, would you advise other internet companies to think about having other aspects that are offline? No, just you.
It's all for him.
Yeah.
No. I would say that it's really, really hard.
You had to raise more than $12 million to do this, right?
We've invested over $30 million in Quirky thus far.
Right.
The reality of actually making stuff is you have inventory, you have all this old school businessy stuff that investors are very scared of. So it took us a while to find the right investors, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I started MediaBistro.com, for example, we had multiple revenue streams. We were a hybrid model. We weren't just online, we were offline as well. We had cocktail parties, we had events. So I would advise any entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting up to just think more broadly. Don't just think of yourselves as an app company or an internet-only company. I mean, look at Ben Kaufman's example and think bigger. Think real world. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about the difficulties of running a company as a young entrepreneur. And one of them is how to build your team. Ben, clearly you're an inspirational leader, but that isn't always easy on your staff. let's talk a little bit about what it's like to...
What did they tell you?
We want to hear the 3 things they say about you. What are the 3 things your staff says about you?
I mean, you can't do everything right. So let's talk about the things you do really well and the things that you delegate.
Sure. The stuff I do well is probably the stuff I enjoy.
Okay, that makes sense.
And those 2 things go hand in hand. So I love anything product related, anything visual, and anything brand and sort of marketing related. And so those are my strengths.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Finance,
you know your strengths, right?
Yeah, finance, operations, inventory, freight. All that stuff. There are much smarter people, and those are the folks that we have sort of surrounding me in the Quirky, team.
What point did you bring them in? I mean, early on, you had to do everything probably yourself.
Close to everything. So
you and your cats, or was it your dogs?
Early on at Quirky, there was basically a team of 4. It was me doing a lot of the product stuff. A guy named Mike who was doing all the technology, basically the website. And there was one person named Nikki who did all like the customer servicey, consumer facing stuff, and then Tiffany who basically was the marketing force behind the business, and that was sort of the team. And then we each just sort of outgrew ourselves and then started replacing ourselves.
So now you have 65 people.
Yeah,
you must have
scary.
some structure, right?
Yes,
okay.
A huge structure.
So,
we're very structured.
So what's the management structure like?
So it's we try to keep it as flat as possible. So
flat as possible.
As flat as possible. Okay. Yeah. So we have a guy named Gaz who runs all product design. John Lott who does all the logistics operations. He's our CFO, COO guy. And then Nikki does same Nikki as before. Runs all people and culture, so all hiring and sort of the culture around the business. And then we have a tech lead and a creative lead as well.
So those 5 people report directly to you?
Yes.
And then how many people report to each of them? Just like 5?
We try to keep that's the level, right? And then everyone reports into that level, and then that level reports to me. There's only one level below me.
And what's the atmosphere like with a leader such as yourself? Inspirational? Do you drive everybody crazy? What's the feedback you get?
No, probably. Completely open office, not one wall up.
Oh my gosh. When I was talking to you on the phone the other day, you seemed very distracted. There were a lot of things going on.
I was distracted, but I'm just always distracted.
Okay.
I'm not distracted in this room because it's all
There's
padded
nothing
walls,
to
which
look
is probably
at,
what my office should look like.
You should have an office,
Note
yes.
yourself for the future design of the office.
But yeah, no, completely open office, and I just I never sit down at my desk. I just sort of roll around and annoy people all day.
How do you keep the culture going? I mean, 65 people is a lot, and you're going to get bigger.
True.
So how do you keep the culture the way that you want it to be, innovative and exciting? And
we've done a really good job at that.
Well, we know you've done a good job, but how are you going to continue to do a good job?
I was about to say that. You guys cut me off. All right. So first, very early on, we defined the core values of a Quirky employee, and they're very, very quirky, right? I would say them, but you guys would yell at me.
No. You can't cuss on air here.
So the first one is get blank done. So that's the first core value, and there's a bunch of sub ones to that. Embracing conflict. Again, what company's core values would say that? But,
sounds like my family dinners.
Yeah, exactly.
Embrace conflict.
But one of Quirky's most important core values is embracing conflict. We like yelling at each other.
Really?
We think great ideas and great outcomes come of that.
That's awesome. I would love to work there.
Everything from sort of agility and selflessness, which sort of you might find in other businesses, and then I'm missing one, but
it's okay. You're entitled.
Those are the main ones.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about the future of Quirky. Actually, we're going to talk about Quirky Television, which I'm very excited about. All right, so let's talk about the reality TV show that you're starring in. It's on the Sundance Channel, and there are, 6 episodes?
6 one-hour episodes, yeah.
Oh my God, 1 hour. How much time are you devoting? How did you get onto a TV show? I tried so hard. I couldn't get my own show. I'm on the internets.
It just sort of happened.
Really? They just called you up and said, we want you on TV?
I work with a company called Brillstein Entertainment Partners, which represents me and the company.
But when did you get a talent scout? I mean, when did you get a talent agent?
Very early on, actually. I think, people started to see that Quirky had this amazing story behind it and thinking of different ways to tell the story, right? The story of inventors, the story of the company, the story of the process, the story of design. And so that happened, and then the TV show came out of that.
You guys have done a lot of smart PR and marketing. I think you've spent no money on advertising. Is that true?
I think the exact amount is $0.
And now you've got a reality show to do it too.
I know.
Can you give us some insights on what's coming up?
Yeah.
Will they let you tell us?
Yeah, so the second episode aired on Tuesday of this week. The third episode actually airs tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on Sundance. And the third episode is arguably my favorite. The inventor is crazy awesome. She's a retired principal from the Bronx who literally quit her job because she said, all day I was telling my kids to follow their dreams, and I wasn't following mine. I wanted to be an inventor. So she quit her job as a principal of a high school, okay, and now is setting out to be an inventor, and we helped her bring her first product to market. So that's
Can you tell us what the invention is?
No, you got to watch.
Oh, come on.
It was cool. It was actually a purse for when girls want to go out at night and they don't want to carry all their stuff. Just sort of nice little clutch thing that has a place for your phone and your keys and your credit cards and all that fun stuff in a nice little tight situation.
I'm sure it's a lot more interesting than you just described it.
I hope so. If not, we have a problem.
So we're going to wrap up a little bit here today. I want to thank Ben for coming on the show. Oh, wait. No. Let's talk about the future.
The future?
Yes. Tell us what the future is for you and the company. How big do you guys think you're going to be in 2 years, 5 years?
Again, we're not good on the whole seeing that far out side of things. We make every decision at Quirky, and we put it through a very simple filter. Does what we're about to do make invention more accessible? If the answer is yes, we do it.
All right, but do you want to be a $100 million company? Do you want to be the next Google? Do you want to?
We want to build a great consumer product brand where people around the world can bring their ideas to life.
Do you consider yourselves a consumer product company?
Yes.
Like Procter & Gamble or like what?
I mean, the company you just mentioned is a consumer product company. Yeah. I would say we're more of a brand than Procter & Gamble. More on the
Quirky itself, you mean?
Branded side.
Yeah.
In terms of the business model, we are Procter & Gamble. The way they make money is the exact same way we make money.
And what about competitors? Do you feel like there are any scary competitors on the horizon? What could stop you from world domination?
A whole slew of things. I mean, we could catch someone's house on fire. Someone could choke on our hanger. There's all sorts of things that can stop us. But the reality is, we're really focused on doing right by our inventors every day. And as long as I think, and this is an assumption, but I think if we do that every day, day in and day out, nothing will stop us. So.
Wow, I love that. Nothing will stop us now. 24 years old, Ben Kaufman, founder of Quirky.com, helping inventors bring products to life. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks.
Well, next week, we're going to have another Secrets of Successful Startups. Stay tuned at this time, at this place. And I just want to give a little toast to my colleagues here before we go. Stay there, don't move.
You're allowed to do this on air, but not curse?
All right, everybody.
Check out the goods. It's family friendly.
Oh, okay. I guess so.
Yes.
Oh, seltzer. Got it. My favorite.
It's champagne.
Thank you.
This is so weird.
Here's to your continued success, everybody.
Okay,
Cheers.
thank you.
Cheers.
Bam. Thanks.
Bam.
I gotta go buy that.
Are you going to drink it?
Right now, thousands of businesses are using YouTube, and not to watch adorable babies tasting lemons or the latest musical sensation. Nope, they're using it to build their business, and quickly discovering why video is a better way to advertise. Take this New Jersey longboard company. Two brothers uploaded video and found customers they never knew existed. By promoting those videos, they saw sales jump locally, nationally, even internationally. Then there's the family-owned vacuum business that answered customer emails with how-to videos. They created their own YouTube video channel and quickly became go-to vacuum experts in the process. And the online barbecue retailer that shared its passion for grilling with cooking demos, recipes, and grill reviews, they saw an increase in views, subscribers, site visits, and more importantly, revenue. So, what then can YouTube offer you? For starters, a place to tell your business story, engage with your customers, and track your success. Say you want to increase sales and spread the word about your brand, launch your next product, or answer customer questions. YouTube lets your customers see you, hear you, even connect with you. It's the best place to bring your business to life. YouTube is still a great destination for viewers to find entertainment. It's also a great destination for you to find your customers, and for your customers to find you. With millions of visits a day, there's never been a more engaging place to tell your business story. Find out what YouTube can do for your business at youtube.com/ads.